The young man casually picked up a branch. Little did he know, it transformed into a legendary sword. This was the fabled demon sword that could grant immortality. Ivan was ecstatic as he looked at the sword in his hand. He handed the demon sword to the Dark Lord. Just as he eagerly awaited being sent back to the real world, the king suddenly appeared before them. It turned out the Dark Lord didn't truly want the sword, but the stone of immortality in the king's possession. So the Dark Lord offered the sword in exchange. But to the Dark Lord's utter shock, the gem the king gave him was a fake. The real stone of immortality was still with the Witch Queen. As the two faced off, the frog girl suddenly launched a surprise attack. Ivan seized the chance to knock down two soldiers, then quickly picked up the fallen demon sword. The situation changed rapidly. Just as the frog girl urged him to give the sword to the Dark Lord, he ignored her advice and opened the portal. Then, disregarding his friend's safety, he returned to the real world. Although Ivan settled into a peaceful life, his heart was filled with guilt toward his friends. Remembering the happy times with his companions, Ivan resolutely decided to return to the fantasy world. But not only did he fail, his bizarre behavior got him arrested and taken to the police station. By chance, he met an acquaintance there. The old wizard was the same guide who had sent him to the fantasy world. It turned out he hadn't died back then. The old wizard immediately used his wand to open a portal. Ivan jumped through without hesitation. He was captured by the king's soldiers. The soldiers brought him to the palace. At that moment, the Dark Lord and the others were about to be executed. The king and queen, dressed in full regalia, planned to set the stone of immortality into the demon sword during the eclipse. This way, the king would gain immortality like the Dark Lord. At this critical moment, Ivan pulled out the pistol he had brought from the real world. Seeing this, the queen quickly tackled him to the ground, but the king was shot and fell. However, the next moment, he stood up again to everyone's astonishment. Ivan fired several shots, but the king remained unharmed. It seemed he had already achieved immortality. Now, no one could kill him. To weaken the king's combat ability, Ivan, being a smooth talker, used taunts and challenges, and successfully made the king put down his demon sword, choosing to face Ivan in a warrior's duel instead. But Ivan, a mere mortal, was no match for the king. He was quickly forced into retreat by the king's attacks. Meanwhile, the frog girl quietly broke free from her restraints. She now fought the queen for the demon sword. During their struggle, the stone of immortality fell out. They fought desperately for it, neither yielding. By now, Ivan was completely defeated. Just as the king was about to execute him, the Dark Lord stood before the king, holding the gem. Both of them knew very well that this gem was linked to both their lives. If the gem were destroyed, both would turn to dust. But the Dark Lord knew the king was a tyrant. For his friends, he was willing to sacrifice himself. Under the king's stunned gaze, he swung the demon sword, shattering the stone of immortality with one strike. As the gem was destroyed, the king instantly turned to ash and vanished into the air. At the same time, the Dark Lord also turned to dust, perishing together with the king. Seeing the situation was lost, the queen leaped directly out of the palace window. With the evil forces gone, all the people petrified by the queen were finally revived. Peaceful times returned to the people once more.